Today's Dallas Cowboys report is made possible by the Fetch Rewards app. Download the app for free at chatsports.com/fetch and use it to scan any receipt from any store or restaurant for points that you can then redeem for gift cards. We appreciate Fetch sponsoring today's 7-round Dallas Cowboys Mock Draft. Before we get going on the picks, couple notes I want to make. Number one, I was unable to fill every single need. That I can't do it with the number of picks the Cowboys have before free agency. So just pretend we filled the other ones via the free agency or re-signing period. Also, I use the Pro Football Network simulator. All of them are broken. None of them make sense. All of them are just all over the place with different team needs and players falling that should not fall. So remember that when I'm getting incredible value that's not going to be there come actual draft day. All right, to round one. Some notable picks that impact the Cowboys. Trevor Penning goes to Arizona. Devin Lloyd goes to Utah. Nakobe Dean and Jordan Davis out of Georgia. That's the Utah linebacker to the Patriots. Eagles, Ravens take those two guys. David Ajabo goes to Michigan. But guess who fell? And it's not that unrealistic. It's Tyler Linderbaum, the center out of Iowa. For me, he is going to be a top 10 player in this year's class. Now, he's not going to be for everybody because he's a 290-ish pound center. That's pretty undersized in the NFL. So there could be some issues versus power. I didn't see it show up very much on tape at Iowa, so I'm not that worried about it. If you were to be able to get him in round one at pick number 24, that would be an absolute steal. Much like how CeeDee Lamb was lucky to fall to the Cowboys, and weird stuff happens, and I expect this to be a very, very weird NFL draft. This would solidify your center position for the long term. Yeah, it's a bit of a luxury pick, but I think having a top center makes your entire offensive line a whole lot better. Some other guys on the board that I considered. Kenyon Green would have been my pick, my future left guard, had Linderbaum not been there. Jermaine Johnson, Trayvon Walker intrigue me as defensive pass rush options. Daxton Hill out of Michigan, the safety, could be a fit. And Jahan Dotson was the top receiver left on the board. So I went Linderbaum. He was on there, and both the linebackers were off the board. I think Nakobe Dean, Devin Lloyd could also be strong picks. Who do you want the Cowboys to draft, though, at number 24 overall? I'm going to make this the pinned comment on today's video, so if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know in the comments section. To round two, some picks that were off the board before the Cowboys had the number 56 overall selection. Drake Jackson, USC edge rusher, goes to Arizona. Kyler Gordon would have been great value there. If you want to go corner, goes to the Raiders. Trey McBride, tight end, goes to Philly. Shades of Dallas Goedert. Darian Kennard goes to Miami. Devontae Wyatt goes to Georgia. Producer Brett is not here today, so I took a safety. Jaquan Brisker out of Penn State. And look, we'll see if the Cowboys finally do it, but three of your top guys are free agents. It is a big need for you as we sit here in mid-February. Brisker, I can think of the marketing opportunities. Brisker's Brisket in Dallas makes so much sense in some capacity. Help me out. I'll take care of you, Jaquan, with the sponsorship. Thrived in the box, he did, at Penn State. Now, he is a great run stopper, and I don't view him as a liability in coverage. He's not a true deep safety option, but he's good enough. I think he can play that split safety type of role, which matters so much in the NFL. A really good replacement in the event you lose Jaron Kearse in particular. He'll stop the run for you. He's a good athlete. I like Brisker a lot. Of course, this begs the question, is this the year the Cowboys finally, at long last, go out and draft a safety? Type in F for yes, finally, Tom becomes a happy person. Or type S for Tom, just shut up. It's not going to go down. Sound off for me in the comments section. Before we move on, some other players who were on the board in round two. Lewis Cine, I wouldn't have minded that pick out of Georgia. Best tight end was Isaiah Likely. Phidarian Mathis, I thought about him and Sean Ryan in particular. There's my big run-stopping defense tackle in Mathis, and my left guard in Sean Ryan. And Quay Walker was the best off-ball linebacker still on the board. Now, today's show, like I mentioned, powered by the Fetch Rewards app. Download it today at chatsports.com/fetch. Earn points on any receipt from any store or restaurant. It is incredibly easy to use, as you'll see in this here video. 3,000 bonus points when you use promo code Cowboys at chatsports.com/fetch. I will make sure that link is in both the comment section and in the description. Make it work like your credit card does. Your credit card gets you points or cash back or whatever. Make your receipts work for you as well. Simply use the app, scan any receipt from any store or restaurant, and then rack up those points. You can then redeem for gift cards. Chatsports.com/fetch. Remember to use promo code Cowboys for 3,000 bonus points. Any store, any restaurant, any receipt works with the app. Then redeem those points for gift cards and other rewards at chatsports.com/fetch. Picks that went off the board in round 3. Oh, Phidarian Mathis and Quay Walker. They both almost fell to me in the 3rd round. Myjai Sanders and Nick Bonito, 2 edges I liked off the board. Wan'Dale Robinson, thought about him, but he was gone just a few picks before the Cowboys are picking at number 88 in the 3rd round. With that 3rd round pick, I found the new linebacker off ball, Channing Tindall, one of the many awesome Georgia prospects this year. Now, Tindall is not a perfectly well-rounded linebacker quite yet, but he's incredibly fast, an elite athlete, has that elite trait there, who finally broke out in his final year at Georgia. And he was impressive this year as a blitzer, which I can utilize regardless of how I'm using Micah Parsons as an edge or a part-time off-ball linebacker as well. The issue and why he, I think, will slide beyond the top 50 this year, coverage. Has 0 career pass breakups. That's a red flag if you couldn't break up a single pass. Now, he only got picked on 17 times in coverage this year, allowed 13 completions. There were, of course, missed throws in there, but the speed makes him appealing. And as a run stopper, he's solid. I think that makes him a pretty good match alongside Jabril Cox, who can cover. Don't love him, though, in run support. Other guys who were there in the 3rd round, LSU's Damone Clark, tight end Jake Ferguson, a safety. I already took one. Don't need Verone McKinley there. Tariq Woolen I mentioned because he is a Dan Quinn wet dream. Long and athletic. He loves those guys. Khalil Shakur because the Cowboys love their Boise State prospects as well. For more Cowboys news and rumors, including plenty on the NFL draft, hit that big red button and subscribe. And remember, the live show is moving to Thursday. That is the off-season time slot for the Cowboys Report. Still at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central, but it'll be on Thursday now instead. All right, last time we'll go through the notable picks because we're kind of out of guys that I think most of us have heard of. John Ridgeway goes to the Bengals. I would like him as a DT. Tackle option, Dare Rosenthal from Kentucky. Kirby Joseph, man, if I could do it over, I might have passed on safety and taken one in the 3rd round, taking Joseph. They're a great value. Tyler Smith, I was going to take him. I think he is going to go before this. He is going to be, I think, a guard in the NFL, but he's mean and tough at Tulsa. That would have been a steal. Instead, I went receiver. Skyy Moore. Welcome into the draft simulators are broken. I'm finding guys who are going to go way before this. I think Skyy Moore should probably go in the top 75. He's not that height. He's a MAC receiver. I get that. He's undersized. He dominated at Western Michigan. I was very impressed by him this year. The numbers are awesome. Almost 100 grabs, almost 1,000 yards, and oh, by the way, 10 touchdowns as well. Very productive. He's not the biggest guy. He is undersized. 5'9 and a quarter, 195, but he's had 3 years of really good production. Can play slot, can play the outside, doesn't drop passes very often. He's built like a running back. I know there's room to grow as a route runner. Round 4, he'd be an absolute steal. Other guys on the board, I thought about the Georgia offensive guard, Jamari Salyer, to help fix my left guard position. The tight ends are thin. There's Charlie Kolar, who good production, but I don't think he's athletic enough. My guy, Dominique Robinson, by the way, developmental edge, but he's got the juice. He's got the juice to come off the edge. A former receiver turned edge rusher for Miami Ohio. And elite name, Smoke Monday. Draft him just the name. A guy named Smoke Monday no chance he busts in the NFL. He's too good of a name. Now, when it comes to the draft, what do you think will end up being this team's biggest draft need? Is it going to end up being guard, center, receiver, tight end, defensive line, edge, linebacker, safety? What do you think it will end up being? Let me know in the comments section. On to round 5. Again, I found the steal, right? Marcus Jones, undersized but productive corner. I don't know where he plays in the NFL. He's built like a nickel. He's 5'8", 185. But he played outside corner pretty damn well for Houston. Bleacher Report comped him to DJ Reed. I love that comparison. Although Marcus Jones, I think better than Reed was at Kansas State, and is the number 1 return specialist here. In fact, you could play him at receiver, I think, if you wanted to go full-on Devin Hester attempt. In coverage this year, decent amount of yards. When he got beat kind of bad. He's not going to hold up well at the catch point, but he's a good effort tackler there. And in round 5, late round 5, the return value alone makes this a good pick. Marcus Jones, after beginning his career at Troy, transferring to Houston, and being an older prospect, averaged over 28 yards per kickoff return, 14 per punt, had almost 3,000 return yards in college, and 9 touchdowns. That is incredible. He should probably go in the top 100, not in the top 175. Others on the board here for the Cowboys' first of 2 fifth-round picks. There is a projected comp pick on the Pro Football Network sim. Running back Jerrion Ealy, tight end James Mitchell, Alex Wright, the edge from UAB, who I like quite a bit. You could go back-to-back years, double O defense lineman from USC. It's fun, or UCLA, and then also Neil Farrell Jr. from LSU. Before we get to my next pick, will the Cowboys make a draft day trade this year? Historically, the answer is yes. Will they do it again, though, this season? Type in Y for yes, they will, N for no, they will not. My pick in round 5, Neil Farrell Jr. out of LSU, because Fatty's only refuses to die. He is a huge run stopper, absolutely incredible size and frame, 6'3.5-ish, 338. Now, he doesn't have great arm length. That will impact him. But for a big guy, he moves pretty well. Now, he was a late bloomer breakout at LSU, and he's not going to be a premium pass rusher. But I think he brings you enough that he's absolutely worth drafting, probably way before pick number 175. He does get out of position a little bit, but if you want to get some size at defensive tackle, this is a great name to keep an eye out for on day 3. Round 6, pick number 201. These are all projected picks. We don't know what happened with the overall comp picks beyond the first 3 rounds, but this is what the PFN order is. D'Angelo Malone. This is a classic undersized edge rusher, which I don't mind adding more edge rushing ability depending on what happens with Gregory and DeMarcus Lawrence. Now, his production was awesome at Western Kentucky. He could slide, probably not this far. The sims are broken. I can only do what I can do here, guys. But he could slide because he's not a full-time edge. I got big Malcolm Kuntz vibes, the now Raiders edge rusher. Couple good years of production at Western Kentucky. He averaged over 80 tackles his past 3 years, 17 TFLs, 10.5, 20.5, 8 sacks, 6 sacks, 11 sacks. As a rotational, sub-package edge, I like him quite a bit. Others who were then on the board for me in round 6. Abram Smith, Baylor, if you want a running back / linebacker. Mika Amezi, if you want more receiver help. Andrew Stuber on the offensive line. I even put on a kicker. By the way, if you want to take a kicker late round 6, okay, fine. But he just might not work out. And Daniel Barker out of Illinois. So grade the mock draft then for me. A, B, C, D, or F. It is an A for the players I got you. It's a D for some of the realisticness. So get your votes in for me in the comments. And to recap, in case you weren't paying attention, Tyler Linderbaum, round 1 out of Iowa. Jaquan Brisker, round 2, safety, Penn State. Channing Tindall, round 3, a linebacker from Georgia, because you got to take at least one Georgia kid this year. Skyy Moore, wide receiver in round 4. Round 5, Marcus Jones and Neil Farrell, cornerback from Houston, and D-line from LSU. And then D'Angelo Malone, edge from Western Kentucky. There is no 7th-round pick for the Cowboys as a result of the Elianaku trade a couple years ago.